Okay. Genau, ich glaube, es muss jeder auch irgendwie annehmen. Okay. Perfect. So we'll just slowly start on our hands and knees. And from there, just start doing a few circles around the spine, the wrist. Be gentle, especially if you didn't put weight on your wrist this morning yet. And go the other way. And then come onto your fingertips. And from your fingertips, you sink in between the shoulder blades and push the shoulder blades out. Also show it from the side. Sink in and push it out. Just really feel how the shoulder blades are wrapping around the spine in both directions. And then you can come all the way into a seat that's comfortable for you. We hug a big ball in front of us, and then we open the arms back. If you want, you can look up with the head to just get some movement into the thoracic spine. You can follow your breath. As you inhale, you lengthen. As you exhale, you round the spine. And come back to neutral position. And your right hand is next to your left arm overhead. You can either just stay here and breathe. If you want a bit more side crunch, you can bend the elbow more and think of bringing the rib and the hip closer together. You can also bend and extend a few times. Side bends can be intense, so start slow. We bring it up, reach the top arm up, and then slowly go into the side body. I also like to use my breath here a lot. With the exhale, I try to narrow the space, ribs and hips. And then release, come back on all fours. And push the hips up and back to find a moment in your down dog. Bring your right knee up and just make 3 big circles with your right leg. And then step the foot through your hand. I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see it better. Tuck your right forearm underneath your thigh. As you go forward, you can even squeeze your forearm. As you go straight, you still want to hug the torso to the thigh. You go as low as you feel good. There's no need to push yourself in the beginning of your practice. And then straighten both legs. Maybe you want to pull the back leg a bit more in. You can hug only with one hand or both. Try to get your forehead closer to the leg. And release. Step it back. Let's go to the left leg. Make 3 big circles, loosen up the hip. And then we step the left foot forward, hug it with your left arm. We go between low lunge and straightening out the leg. See if you can feel how your hip is going forward, straight and parallel. In the next one, find a distance that works for you, so you can bring your torso closer to your leg. Drop the back of the leg, the back of the neck to the leg. And bring it back to your down dog. And roll it out into your plank position. Find a moment in your plank to rock forward and back or sideways, whatever feels good. And then let's bring it all the way down to the floor. Get your hands next to you, and we'll do a few circles over the side. You don't have to necessarily go high. I just want to open the spine and the side. 3 circles in each direction is enough. Go slow with your breath. And then you can tent the fingertips underneath the elbows, and we go to the shoulder towards the center line. And then both of your hands behind the head and neck. Try to just lift the elbows up and release. You can drop the forehead on the ground. Try to feel the shoulder blades squeezing together and release. On the highest point, you should feel quite some pressure in the back of your shoulders. And then keep the elbows lifted, extend, and bend 3 times. Touch gently the back of your head. And then you can bring it all the way back up. We'll go to the core. You want to bring the legs all the way together. Tent your fingertips in front of you. Lean back with having a nice flat spine, head in one line with the spine. We go from right to left 3 times. Try to see where the torso brings you instead of compromising and going down, but you all know this exercise. Less is more, and quality is important. Pull the navel in a tiny bit more. Push the feet down. And then bring it up. You can hook your thumbs, and without opening the ribs and pushing yourself into an arch, just try to push the hands back 3 times. And then we switch the thumb grip 3 more times. And release. Come into forward fold. Before we do it standing, place your hands underneath the shoulders. Lift your leg up and try to really feel that part between the butt and your thigh, and not opening the back. Try to keep the back rounded and engaged, including the belly. And feel how you really have to fight to not let the hip open when you swing the top leg up. And then switch to the other side. After you've done 3 to 5 on each leg, just give yourself a moment of a forward fold. Maybe wiggle out the shoulders. Take a few deep breaths. Just want to remind you again that you can adjust this class to your needs and really make it as easy or challenging as you want. I will give you lots of different options. Give the hands to the front and try to kick your leg to your hands 3 times with the right and 3 times with the left. Here also, I don't want to be kind of straight and arch. I want to already push and find the compression in the front. You should also feel your standing leg really pushing down into the ground. Focus on a good alignment in the center of the body. Looks really nice. I really like to warm up with these leg kick things to activate the compression. Let's do one more thing, laying down before we go upside down. You can bring the arms back, both legs are starting in an L shape. And then you really want to just push one leg close. Find the thigh and the rib compression that we found standing as well. And find the middle and try the other side. Nothing else changes except for when I bring the leg closer, I really try to create space by pushing my lower belly into the ground and kind of pulling the leg without moving the opposite. 2 or 3 on each leg is enough. I just want you to feel which muscles have to be engaged. It's almost, for me, it feels like my lower back lengthens so that my leg can come closer. Very nice. And with that in mind, you can just start going upside down. You can find your favorite kick-up position. If you can, try to keep the same leg compression on the lower leg. Hold for a sec and maybe bring it up all the way from here. Or also on the way down. Try to really feel that thigh squeezing to your belly. It doesn't matter if it touches, but it will help you to find more balance and control. So here you want to do both sides. Nice one, Anna. Really nice. Use the front leg more than the back leg. That's it, Laura. Very nice. It's a fight in 2 legs, right? We kind of need to pull the top leg up or keep it pulling up and the lower leg really bringing it in. Very nice. Nice, Ivana. You had it. Trust that. Nice, Josie. Keep reaching with the top leg. I like the control that I'm seeing in the starting position. Sometimes it also helps to watch the bottom leg, to kind of take the head out a bit so you can just stay in that L shape and watch the lower leg. Nice, Josie. Also, if you want the challenge, you can look to your bottom leg and then keep the gaze in or neutral all the way up. It will bring a lot of awareness in the back of your shoulder. Nice, Anna. It will give you some minutes to do both sides, to explore a bit how you can try to replicate that same feeling with the compression that you have on the back upside down. And you can always go back to remind yourself, how does it feel on the floor? What muscles am I engaging to really feel the compression? Even if you don't have it fully in the way up, try to do it on the way down. Kind of what you feel when you push the back into the ground, it almost feels like the lower back is really pushing and rounding. And for me, it feels the same upside down, even though from the outside it looks really straight. You 1 more minute. So let me know if you have questions. Nice. I like the head position. Really good. Relax that neck and focus on what you're feeling. Nice. You move the head, move it slow. Otherwise, your body is not sure where it is in space. Looks good. Nice correction, Laura. I want to slowly go to the next exercise, and I want you also on the floor to try the difference one time. Like if we are in a tuck, then if I would open the knees, my lower back automatically releases. If I keep the lower back down and sink more with my kind of feet pushing a weight out, it is much easier for me to keep the core. I don't know if you felt that sometimes when you're in a tuck, that like this angle is kind of loose and then we have to catch it at the top. So maybe for today, let's do 5 ones on the floor where you think pushing a weight with your feet away and then pulling a weight with your feet in. And see if that helps you a bit to keep the midsection really stable. I know most of you have done this exercise many times, but I feel like the intention we bring to it will create the same awareness in our body. So we want to do the same in our tuck, and you can go in with a kick up or you can jump into your tuck. If you have the control, you can open the knees a bit and see automatically how you feel like arching. Or you do the opposite, trying to really squeeze the knees to the chest. And then find maybe something neutral if you want. Bring it all the way up. Try to just create that awareness in our belly. You can also do that exercise with the belly to the wall and just do a few slides there. You should feel the same as the knees come closer, how the belly compresses. I can't show you here because the brick wall is not the best. And the slower you do it, the easier you can really feel how the body can adjust. I still see you, Anna. Nice, Laura. Cool. Good one, Ivana. Yeah, take your time. Nice, Josie. Then if you really want to work deep into the compression, you can go into your tuck and either just bring one foot into a toe tap or bring both feet into a toe tap and bring it back up. That's just a harder version. You can also just do it on the way down to really understand how the body kind of folds, and most pressure is actually in my ribs and in my pelvis. Nice. I think it's always useful to work on compression no matter where you are in your practice. Just get a feeling for it. Maybe that means you do your tuck and come down very slow to feel the package that you're making on the way down. Gives you a good support from the center of the body. Yes. Just it, Laura. It's not more than a straddle toe tap. You can do it. I know it feels weirder, but it's the same motion. I try just one foot. Yes, nice. Also from the tuck balance to just straighten one leg and come down close to you is totally possible without doing the toe tap, but it brings you into the center. You want something in between, just coming down in a tuck or doing the heart version. I also feel like it helps in the compression on the way down to really bring the head a bit more in, because then the body rounds naturally more, as well as for toe taps. I think it helps to lengthen the back of the neck a lot. Let the hips come a bit more over, Ivana, just a bit. Like you're almost there, so when you're up, let the hips travel a tiny bit back behind the shoulders. Because if you straight up and your knees are to the front, you fall to the belly. So in the tuck, it feels like the butt is a bit more back. Nice. Okay, last one, and then we go to the next one. Nice, Josie. Keep that alignment in the shoulders. Really nice. Yeah. Free to sit down and just wipe the legs for a moment and wiggle out the shoulders in every direction that feels good. Maybe open and close the chest a few times. Then we can lay down on the back. You want to catch the inside of your thigh and straighten out the legs. Maybe this direction is better. You want to catch the inside, push kind of the knees down into the floor, and then just straighten the legs and release. Try to hold the straight legs for a second before you release to kind of fight a bit how your really straight straddle is. I also feel like when I have that rotation, catching the inside of the thigh and really straightening the legs, I don't have to think of the alignment in the lower back. And then we want to go into our straddle and finding a moment where we stretch out everything, where we push the shoulders up, we think someone is pulling on each of our legs. And then you can kind of sink in and try to feel the difference of a straddle that's really straight and that's kind of sitting in a very soft couch. And then find something in between that is a comfortable straddle, but that feels also very integrated. So it doesn't feel like it's very rigid and everyone could like push you out. Play a bit with the tension. Also, Laura, I don't think you were in that class when we did that in a straddle to kind of move the head in and right and left to just take the head out of the straddle alignment. The straddle. You're very comfortable in straddle, so you can just see if you can take the head completely out of it. Nice, Ivana. So good. Cool. Very good alignment, Josie. Nice. Longest Christmas handstand. Super nice. That was really forever. Super nice. Nice, Laura. If you want, you can also start doing some weight shift and straddle, Laura, if you want to use the straddle to go towards weight shift. So to do the adjustments slow, everyone. The more we can like search with our legs or do something fast with our arms, the harder it is. I know it's a lot of patience, but I always feel like when I take that moment to like really root down and then either shift my weight or change my shape or whatever it is, I have a lot more success. And you all have the strength, you know, to take time. You all have enough balance experience to just take that deep exhale and sink in before you do the next step. So much nicer, Laura. Nice. Take time, let the ground hold you, root down the hands. So nice, Josie. Very nice, Ivana, too. Nice. Looks a lot better. Also, if you want to combine the straddle with like going to your diamond, open and close a few times, or you go from your diamond, open to straddle, go into a weight shift, whoop, bring it back to your diamond, and do the other side. The floor is so soft, like a carpet. You're like, I can't do handstands here. Feels like a mattress. If you're used to like handstanding on wood. Nice. No matter if it's the straddle or the diamond, the only thing that changes is the feet connecting. So think of keeping the straddle on the height of the hip, open and close. Let the rest of the body be in the same place. Hey, my dear, take a second in each shape. Very nice. Also, another option, if you don't want to go for weight shift, Josie, for example, you can go from the diamond into a mini side bend, bring it back, and go side bend to the other side. It feels quite intuitive where the legs kind of pull you. I don't know, maybe Laura, you experienced that. When you just open and let the legs bring you in the right position, the body actually knows where it is. Nice. Ivana, try to relax your neck a little more. I think that's really the only thing where your hips don't want to go over. And sometimes you relax the head in the beginning and then you just roll up. So now maybe before you start, imagine still you have this line or sock or whatever there and try to keep it and like really leave the back of the neck nice and long. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a good reminder to put it there. I mean, I don't know, like the sock exercise or ball, it was a lot helping, especially if you then move your gaze to other positions that you just have something where you can look at. The right side is really nice, Laura. Keep the same speed on the left. Do it slow. Push the shoulder in. Nice. Much better. So I feel like if we open the legs into a straddle a tiny bit too quick, especially on the shoulder that's not so strong, the shoulder drifts and the legs pull us out. If you're already done, you can take a moment to come onto the fingertips and open your shoulders a bit. I personally like to also go a bit from right to left. If it doesn't feel good in your shoulders, just stay with opening the back of the shoulders, but still pulling the ribs in instead of sticking the butt out. The ribs are in. You can release the head and neck. If movement feels good, invite it. If stillness is what you need, keep the stillness. And then We'll bring it up. And we want to go from our tuck position. Let's see. From our tuck, we keep the knees together and straighten one leg. This leg doesn't have to go so low. It can also be a bit higher. You could also do that with your butt against the wall. The main focus is that you feel kind of what you felt on the floor. That the back of the shoulders are very active. You don't need to do something in the lower back. Just take that moment to find the shape. If you want, you can do switches between right and left. Or you can also do what I sent you in the plan, Laura, to do the side bends in the shape. Do you feel like you have energy for it? Nice alignment, Josie. We're good. Keep the chest pushing towards the front a bit. Maybe come a bit closer, Ivana. Like one little step that you feel more that kind of the hips want to be more back, but your chest and your shoulders want to go through. Now it was closed and then it was really hard. So think of pushing the chest to the front. Yes, much better. Good. And keep the shoulders open there. Yeah, you did the right thing. It was good. It was good. Just try again. Nice. If you want more or a transition that we're working towards, you start in your tuck, you straighten one leg, you keep the knees together, and then you open into, I don't know, puppy brush shape. You can bring it back, straighten one leg, open it to the side. But feel free to also stay with the half seven and just keep working that shape to find a bit more stability there. Nice, Laura. Keep the chest forward, keep the chest forward, Josie and Ivana. The moment, like, I think it's also when you're a bit lost with the legs, the head goes a tiny bit out, and that means the shoulders close a bit, and then that shape gets really heavy. So try to really focus on not compromising here in the shoulders, that you always feel the back of the shoulders instead of the front of the chest. Even if it means sometimes it just come down, that's also fine. Yeah, that's perfect, Josie. The weight there, keep the weight there. Also better, Ivana, looks nice. Nice. Okay, let's have a little mini break before we bring it together again. So you can straighten out one leg and one leg is bent to find your half frog for a moment. Either stay static or move a bit. Try not to stick the butt out, but more bring the lower back in to make this more about the hips than a back bend. Same thing on the other side. Do both at in the same round. Okay, let's do one more thing on the same position on the knee and with one foot out. I want you to lean to your straight leg. You can reach the upper arm over to the side. Same idea, we want to kind of push the ribs in to meet the ribs and the hips. Other side. One leg out, push the knee down, find the squeeze. So all kind of anchor points are pushing. The knee pushes down, the ribs push in, this lengthens. I always like to think of every pose, no matter if it's in yoga or in handstand, really like long and wide and expansion instead of like being very small. Okay, you can either use your puppy press to get in or find your straddle, finding the shape, going towards an exit, or just from your straddle bending one leg and bending one leg. Think of squeezing the heel to the butt and the knee is lifting. When you come down here, everything comes to the front. So kind of what we do here too. We want to keep the knee and the hip in one line. If it is forward, everything feels really heavy and pulls us down. So play with that. Also optional, instead of doing a side bend or a negative, do a weight shift. I find that actually quite easy in the shape to do a weight shift because we only have half of the leg. Nice. Laura, I think you can land closer to your wrist. Now the straight leg goes kind of so far away, and then you don't get the pushing in the ribs and the hips. So think of bringing it closer, and you have such a good flexibility. Also, like my flexibility teacher likes to say, visualization goes a long way. So even if you just imagine to be really close, it helps to find the right action in your body. Nice, Ivana, much better with the head. Yes, nice, Laura. Think about all these anchor points. Your hands are pushing into the ground. Your knee is pulling up to the ceiling. The straight leg tries to pull you down. And you're trying to resist all of them to stay as long as possible in the air. And of course, try to do both sides. Take your time. Nice, Josie. Keep the knee pointing to the ceiling. That's great. Super nice. It's really like a little fight. Like the knee wants to come down and we really have to invite it to stay up. That's the last piece of the flow that I want to share with you today. We kind of bring it all together. I give you a couple more minutes to try this last piece. Nice. They're getting really good, Josie. Laura's also celebrating. Nice. Okay, let's do the flow seated first. Then I show you upside down. What's the best angle? Maybe diagonal. We start in a tuck. We straighten one leg out. Then we go to a puppy press position and we pull it back with the straddle. And we go to a tuck. You can straighten out the other leg. We go into a puppy press position and we take the straddle to bring it back. You're also free to just do a part of it. You don't have to do the whole thing. I will show you, hopefully. You start in your tuck. You straighten one leg. Guide the movement with the knee at the top. And then use the leg to bring it back to straddle. Tuck. Straighten one leg. Open. Bring it back. That was my idea for today, to combine some of the individual poses and just create awareness that this part really, no matter where the knees are drifting, changes so much. You can also only do the tuck, go into the puppy shape, and then come to straddle, so you don't have to straighten out the leg. That adds quite some weight. Feel free to find your own flow that kind of just integrates the shapes that you want to practice. Try to combine 2 or 3 shapes that we've done today. Nice, Josie. Yeah. Can also be something like going from straddle to tuck to diamond, back down to straddle. Especially when I combine multiple shapes, my brain likes to go to the next one before I finish the previous one. So I have to remind myself to take a breath in each of the poses, to not rush it. That's it, Laura. Nice. I was thinking, Laura, I haven't actually tried it, but it just popped up in my head going from like a tuck to a harlequin side bend and then straightening out the legs. Maybe that's also cool, but I haven't tried it. Then, yeah, nice. Yeah, one leg was straight, but the other one was in the harlequin. Yeah, like with both legs in the harlequin, yes. Yes. Then the one that's, what is it, your right leg, I think. Yeah, that was good. Like the harlequin looks a bit like an X shape, which reminds me of Christmas somehow. A slow jump, Ivana. Yes, super nice. Especially when we get tired, we speed up and it doesn't help. It makes everything worse. Yes. If you move the head, try to move it slower. Yes, that was better. The last attempt. Nice, Josie. Really good alignment. Keep it. Nice. All the movement feels too much, feel free also for the next couple minutes to just come back to one simple shape that you want to practice right now. And it also doesn't have to be from today if there's another shape, or exactly feel free to shake out, tap the front and back. And take a moment to check in with yourself. What is the shape you would like to practice right now? Ooh, Figa time. Now let's try to bring the legs a bit closer. Yes, and then imagine you're pulling the legs kind of really back. It feels like a weird twisted pike, like in the pike to go really down, it also feels like you have to pull the legs back. And it feels for me the same in a figa, just twisted on top of that. See if you can find that sensation. Yes, nice. And then let the hips come back by pulling the legs into the hip socket. Nice.
Ziehe ich beide zurück oder dann nur das eine? Also
Das
eher so oder?
hintere, also beide so ein bisschen, aber das hintere fühlt sich doppelt so viel an. Also das, was auf deiner Rückseite ist, weil du bist ja, wenn du in einem Twist kommst, dein vorderes Bein ist automatisch schon mehr reingezogen, aber dein hinteres Bein will dich zurückziehen, damit dein Oberkörper quasi parallel zu deinen Beinen getwistet ist. Weißt du, wie in diesem Stretch, da fühlt sich ja ein Bein auch krasser an. Ja, super schön. Very nice. Yeah, and then it looks really integrated. It feels weird to get a bit into the habit of doing this, and figuring out where the legs is, but then your whole back was really strong. Yay, nice. So if you need one more shape inspiration, one shape that I really like to do is where the back leg goes back, and then also the straight leg kind of pulls a bit into the hip socket to stabilize the shape. So I could do it relaxed, or I can bring the leg in and squeeze the heel towards the butt. I really like that shape because it's inviting my body to go back, but also with the leg pull, bringing the front in. Yes, Josie, you do it exactly like that. 1 second slower, you're in the right place. The back leg was actually good, and then the front leg didn't pull in enough. So yeah, then it just got heavy because it's straight. Nice. Laura, also the shape like you did is really nice for weight shift, but also if you want to play with then bringing the back leg into the twist, and I don't know if that's something for today, but that also really helped me feeling this pulling with the back leg. Yeah, good. And then nice. Let the knee that you bend now was a tiny bit too deep. So think really bringing it in one line, because if you bring it a bit too deep, then it gets really heavy in the front. So a little less compression in the bent leg. Wait a tiny longer for the push in the shoulders, Ivana. So the hips are up. Try to get a feeling when your hips are on top of your shoulders, then you want to push up and extend. If you do it a bit too early, you push yourself out. So start a bit more relaxed and then find length at the top. Nice. Nice, Laura. Yes, much better, Ivana. Super nice. Nice. Okay. Looks like we're getting all a bit tired. So let's have a moment in a squat and just give some squeeze to your forearms. If you want, you can open and close the hands. And then straighten the legs, interlace the hands behind the back. Extend the arms away, bend one leg at a time if it feels good. Or maybe roll the chest up a bit. Exhale as you go down. And then come onto your knees and bring your fingers towards you. And give a little stretch to the forearm and the fingers. Then hands a bit wider than shoulder width. Try to move your shoulders from one side to the other side. Come to a seat, grab your toes, And then you can keep the knees bent and just try to straighten the back, or you can do with the legs straight and also try to pull your chest forward to have a nice flat back, but keep the head and neck relaxed. My feet are like hip width apart, so I have space to bring kind of the ribs onto my thigh. And then feel free to shake the legs out. What I want to do for conditioning today is, let me see if you see it when I'm all the way back here. The idea is that you find your higher surface, and instead of staying static, I want you to kind of walk around with your hands. You can also turn the wrists a bit, but only to a degree, like not all the way, and you have your whole body weight on top, right? What I did was more something like forward and a bit out. And sometimes when you turn the hands a bit more out, it feels a bit different in the shoulders, and just see what walking is still good for your shoulders and your wrists. We will do it all together. You can also just do the first 30 seconds or something, do some walking and then stay static in the pike hold, but it's really good to build awareness in your wrists and shoulders. Okay, let's go up in 3, 2, and 1. Don't want to compromise anything else in your body. You can also bend the knees a bit if you need to relax the head, Ivana, a bit more. Yes. And see where you're walking. Nice, Laura. Very good alignment, everyone. And see how slow you can walk. Almost think of slow motion walking that you really feel. How does the weight shift in your palm? Just 15 more seconds. Try maybe in the last couple breaths to really make full connection with the hands into the ground. Your minute is over. Super nice. Just decompress the wrists for a moment, get to the back of your wrist and move the elbow in and out. Looks really weird, but feels really good. If it's too much with the rotation of the elbow, you can also just give way to the back of the hand. Same on the other wrist. In this one, especially if I add the rotation, I like to do one wrist at a time. And then let's bring the fingers towards us one more time to stretch out the form. And then connect the back of the wrist to a few circles for your wrist. The direction. And get your right hand to your opposite hip. And find a movement for the head and neck that releases the traps, the space along the neck. We will do the same on the other side. Really find the juicy spots. And then if you have something higher, I'm gonna take this couch here where you can place the elbows down to open the triceps. You can play with like arching and hollowing a bit. I find I get a lot more stretch in my triceps and shoulders when I actually pull the ribs in. And I do want the stretch more in my triceps and shoulders, but if you just want the full back stretch, you can let go of the ribs. Take a couple more deep breaths here. And as slow as you came in, try to come out. And then get your knees in. You can hold in front of your shins. Let the body hang back so you can breathe in between the shoulder blades. As you inhale, you can lift, pull your chest towards your knees. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. One more time. And then stretch out the legs all the way to the front. Your right hand comes back, and you want to create that nice line going from the shoulder to the hip to the toes. And we've done quite a bit of side bending today. Try to open that space between the ribs and the hips. You could also adjust the position of your hand. It can be lower, then it's less intense. It can be higher. Drop the head and neck, whatever feels good. 3 deep breaths into the space. And then do the same on the other side. The other side feels completely different. Maybe it doesn't. For me, it's very different. Sometimes it also helps to go a bit forward and back and really see where's the spot. And bring it back. Let's lay all the way down. Get your right knee to the chest. And try to kick out the right leg 3 times. You will feel, if you keep the compression tied to the belly, that there is a point where you feel like, okay, if I would straighten my leg all the way, it feels like the back of my hamstring is going to snap. That's when you want to rebend. And then the last one, try to straighten out the leg. Then you switch the hand to the outside and guide the leg either straight or bent into your twist. Slowly bring it back. We will switch to the other side. Hug the left knee in. Get the hook 3 times. Straighten the leg to however far it wants to go. On the third one, you can walk up your leg and straighten the leg a little more. And then we grab across. Let's go into the twist. At all anchor points, root down into the floor as well. Feel the twist happening in the midsection of your spine. And then slowly bring it back. Hug both knees in and rock forward and back 2 times. So you're all the way up into a seated position. And that was the Christmas class for today.